Hello and welcome to your yin yoga practice today. We're going to get down on the mat. Each posture is going to be a minute and we're going to use just a blanket today. With our blanket, I want to suggest that you have it folded up into a small rectangle with no creases, so nice and smooth. Just for your reference, this rectangle is about the size of my torso. You want to find something that is similar proportion for you, and then you can use it in a variety of ways. So we'll start with bringing it down onto our mat in front of us. Okay. And then just start to find a comfortable position. So if you want to sit down into a seated place or come all the way down onto your belly, we'll begin with 1 minute of breath work. Guiding yourself down onto the mat or into your seated place. And then getting comfortable. Maybe taking a full breath in and a big breath out. You might begin by just noticing the natural flow of your inhale and the natural flow of your exhale. Getting curious about your breath today. If you'd like to join me for a 3-part breath, you might begin by inviting in an inhale deeply into the belly, and then allowing the rib cage to expand, and lastly lifting the chest as it fully inflates. Hold for a moment, and then slowly exhale, allowing the air to leave the chest, ribs, belly. Big breath in, expanding belly, ribs, chest. Exhaling chest, ribs, belly. Let's take one more just like that as we are. Full breath in belly, ribs, chest. Slow exhale, chest, ribs, belly. You can let go of that particular type of breath work. And think about joining me for this next transition. And if you are transitioning, perhaps challenging yourself to move 10% slower than what you want to. Coming up onto your forearms if you're on your belly. Now your elbows can be directly under your shoulders, hands directly out from your elbows. Check in with your low back. If you have kind of a feeling of wanting to pull out right away, then you might guide your hands a little bit further forward, guiding the elbows forward as well. This will lower the chest. Now they can come as far forward as you want them to be. I often like to take this blanket here and then fold it up to support my upper rib cage. Okay. Now in our yin yoga postures, if you think about 10 being the most sensation you've ever felt, 1 being nothing at all, we want to be in that sweet spot middle range. We're looking for a sensation. And then settling in. You might choose to have your head lifted or let your head dangle. You might choose to have your eyes closed or perhaps open. If they're open, think about just softening your eyelids and all the muscles around your eyes. And tuning into that 3-part breath. Feeling your belly expand against the ground, your rib cage against the blanket, your chest rise. Slowly let it out. Full breath in. Full breath out. slowly come up onto your forearms once again. Press your hips into the mat. Remember, we're moving about 10% slower than what we want to. Guide your blanket out to the side and about in line with your hip. Now you can bring it to your right or left side, doesn't matter. I'm doing my left side first. I'm going to lower down onto my right forearm and my right cheek, bringing the right hand under the shoulder and rolling onto the right side to allow that left knee to come up. Now the knee is coming out to the side and up towards your left arm. The blanket is underneath of my knee. Now you can stack your hands underneath of your face, or you can just rest in whatever way is comfortable for you. Perhaps taking 3 belly breaths here, 3-part breaths, sorry. Breathing in, expanding belly, rib cage, chest. Breathing out, chest, ribs, belly. Guiding yourself through the next 2. When those are complete, you can slowly slide your knee back down to meet your right leg. Maybe shake your hips side to side if that would feel good for you. Now move slow, extra slow, pressing yourself up, maybe onto your forearms, and continue to move slow as you guide that blanket over to the other side. Lowering yourself down onto your left arm, if that's comfortable for you, onto your left side, and then guide that knee, the right knee, up to the right side towards that right arm. And then you can rest yourself on the ground. I'm just going to take off my mic here and rest somewhere comfortable. If you don't like having your arms in front of you, you can have them down by your side or extended sideways, whatever works. It's about finding sensation in that right leg, maybe even in the low back. And then allowing the rest to be in a place that you can sustain for 3 of your own 3-part breaths. Now moving 20% slower than what you want to. Guiding your right knee down to the side. Hands coming onto the ground, maybe under your shoulders. Pressing yourself up to a tabletop position. Guiding your blanket in front of you. You've got a variety of options that might come under your knees, under your ankles, maybe in between your backs of the thighs and your calves. I'm going to bring mine to roll up, so I'm going to fold it or roll it to a long shape here, and then bring it underneath of my chest for support as I rest my head on the mat. And in this child's pose, you might take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, allow the hips to sink a little deeper, become a little heavier. Maybe Slowly breathing in, noticing the expansion of your belly against your legs. And as you breathe out, allowing for a heaviness to take over in the body. And lastly, perhaps taking a breath in through the nose and a sigh out the mouth. Giving yourself permission to stay here for as long as you'd like. Maybe 3 more breaths, maybe 5, maybe 8. You might think about just pausing the video to stay for a number of breaths. And when you're ready to come out, you'll slowly begin to press up onto your hands, rise up to your tabletop position. Maybe take a cat-cow, guiding your belly to the ground, lifting your gaze, maybe rounding the spine. Taking a breath in, sigh out the mouth. You can come back to your starting seated position or move on with your day. It's been my pleasure, my honor to guide you through your practice. Namaste.